Hi guys, it's the Premier League Reactions TV, and today I'm joined by Josh here on my right and Ron on my left. We start off with the Manchester United versus Everton match. Manchester United won with a clean sheet, 2-0 to Manchester United. So I'll start with you, Josh. Josh, what's your take about the game?
I think the game was quite an improvement from the previous two games. Considering how we played out at Brentford, which was just a win game, and they lose to Newcastle. Yes, yesterday's game against Everton there was a lot more control. The way we played, we pressed the game. They didn't pose any dangers to our goal. I think De Gea was a spectator in that match. Overall, I think the changes in tactics that the coach made, I think it worked yesterday, and I'm impressed.
On to my next question. Rashford came off the pitch with a groin injury. What's your take going to the following fixtures, considering the top four hanging in the balance and the Anthony's finishing being quite questionable? What's your take on that?
I'm hoping it's not that serious. Maybe he will run it off, and in the Sevilla game he will be available. But even if he's not, we see that we have a team that can play. Okay. Yeah, people are saying we rely on Rashford so much, being that he has, I think, 28 goals this season, and the person following him has 10 goals. But it's the same case when you have a top striker. It's the same case at Manchester City, where Haaland has almost 40 goals in all competition, and the player following him has 10 goals or 11 goals. When you have a top striker, there will be an over-reliance, but still, when he's not available, I think we can get the job done. I think the only game that will be hard is Sevilla. We have Nottingham Forest in the weekend. I think we can kick them away even without Rashford. So maybe the concern is for the Sevilla game, but with Eriksen coming back, Casemiro coming back, Sancho playing like the best football I've seen him play, Anto available and Anthony Martial available, I think we can. I'm not saying like we can. It's not like my choice to play without Rashford, but if it comes to that, he won't be available, or he's not 100% fit, I think we can rest him for the first leg and maybe see how the game goes, and then maybe he can come back in the second leg.
Okay, on to my last question. What's your take on the top four? We saw Tottenham outmaneuvering Brighton yesterday, and we saw Newcastle beating Brentford. So do you think the top four is still in the balance, or it's for United to bottle it, or something else, or a miracle might happen and Liverpool might sneak in?
Okay, I don't see Liverpool sneaking in. Today they took Arsenal to the wire, but I don't see them having the quality against the lesser teams. I think today they played well because it was Arsenal. There are certain teams that just brings the best out of other teams, and they couldn't just lay down and take it, from the back. So they had to do something. The top four, I think it's open for us. Newcastle, the games that the remaining games, I think they are against the top 8 teams, so I think they will struggle. They will drop some points. They have been impressive this season, but now it has come to the end, like the business end of the season. This is where quality matters. I don't think they have the quality and the tenacity that is required for the final run on the season. Tottenham, I don't see them either sneaking in there. Maybe that's why they fired their coach to rely on the manager bounce, but I don't see it working. I think for us, if we continue playing the way we are playing, I think 70 points is the benchmark. You get 70 points this season, I think you'll be guaranteed a top 4 finish. So I think we are gonna get the top 4. It's almost, I wouldn't say it's assured, but if we don't get the top 4, it will be on us.
Okay. So we move on to our next match. It was Liverpool against Arsenal. The game ended in a draw, but it had some late drama. So I'll start by you, Ron. So what's your take about the game?
Well, I'll say it wasn't a comfortable game for me to watch as an Arsenal fan from the very get-go. In the first half, we looked a bit in the game, but somehow we scored 2 goals, and then we slip off. We let Liverpool pull one back, and that was always going to invite pressure in the second half, of which it actually invited the pressure in the second half. Liverpool were asking all the relevant questions they needed to ask, and were it not for Ramsdale, I think we would have lost the game maybe 5-2. Yeah.
I'll go to you, Josh. So, Josh, you saw what Arsenal did. What do you think the draw might have on the title race? Do you think it will go to the wire like what it did in 2012?
Like, first of all, that was the most entertaining draw I've watched this season. I mean, from a neutral point of view, I mean, the game was amazing. The chances, seeing Arsenal bottle the lead, the same way they are gonna bottle the league.
Wow.
So I think those were the two important points. Given that Manchester City have a game in hand on Arsenal and they still have to go to play at Etihad, I think those were the points that they needed to drop. So if Arsenal go on and win the league from here, we'll raise our hands and say the best team won. Because at this point, I think it's all balanced.
So I'm gonna go to you, Ron, once again. Do you think getting a draw from an inconsistent Liverpool team might shifted the momentum that Arsenal had going into this game, winning all their matches despite them losing at City a while ago? Do you think it will have the course will change, or you still remain on course for the title?
We still remain on course for the title, although I can't overwrite the fact that drawing that game really put more pressure on us, because if City win the game against us, they only need to win the rest of the games and they'll be good to go. And remember, they have a game in hand, and we're only 6 points clear. So it's City. They also have goal difference advantage. So we've really hurt ourselves. We could have gotten a win from the Liverpool game, because it's one of the games that we've been talking about, the Liverpool game and the City game, because we know Chelsea, obviously, it's going to be a walk in the park.
Whoa.
Yeah. So we really bottled it, and we need to go back in the drawing board, because one thing I saw in this game, we respected Liverpool way too much because of the history we've been having at the Anfield. And that is something I didn't see Ben White overlapping the way he's been overlapping through the season. I think he was one of our biggest flop in the game. And Saka has really suffered because of that, because he was lacking support going forward. Ben White was not overlapping the way he should have. We saw the way Zinchenko was overlapping and giving Martinelli the much needed support, and he was able to score a goal and also come off with an assist. And I'll say our biggest our biggest letdown was Ben White, because even the goals, all of them, they came from Ben White's side. So yeah, I think our resolve is going to be tested in the coming games. We've drawn the pressure onto us, but we've shown the mettle. We can handle pressure. So I'm still going to remain positive.
So exactly what I wanted to ask you. So do you think Arsenal can handle the pressure? You know, they have a game at Etihad and they have a visit to the St. James Park. And City being tied, City are behind by 6 points. With the game in hand. Do you think Arsenal have the vigor, have the desire, have the mentality to hold on to the lead up until 20th of May?
Okay, I think they have all of that. They have the desire. Everybody desires to win the league. They have the vigor because they are young. But I don't think this league will be determined on that. I think it will be determined on experience. You know, Man City has been there, have done that, you know. Arsenal, with a young squad, we also today they crumbled under pressure on a very inconsistent Liverpool team. Were it for not the low in confidence, how Liverpool players are low in confidence, I think they would have put 5 straight on Arsenal today. I think it would have been a bad score, and also Ramsdale coming to their rescue. So we saw an Arsenal side which I think under pressure, I don't think they can cut it, you know. Today was an example of that. From now onwards, the remaining games, I think they will all be under pressure. How you manage the game, how you get to come back when you go 1-0 down, and how you manage to like manage a game when you are 2-0 up, you know.
Yeah.
That's what gonna determine the win. We know that Manchester City can win all the games from now to the end of the season. They can manage the games, but I just don't think Arsenal can do it. Given even the inexperience of Arteta was shown today, like making the subs too soon and bringing on defenders, and you know, like bringing out Odegaard like in the 80th minute and bringing on Nini. He was already like ready to defend the game, which it was like a big game. You know, they would have played on the counter. You know, let Odegaard have the ball and spray the ball. You defend deep, but you have someone who is quality to like release the player. They have the pace, and like Liverpool were boxing in them in. So I think the inexperience and the experience of Manchester City is going to play a big part in this title race.
Okay. And my closing question is going to go to you, Ron, and all the Arsenal fans out there. Let me know in the comment section. It was this. Would you rather sell Bukayo Saka and win the Premier League, or keep him and bottle the league to Manchester City?
I love Arsenal more than I love Bukayo Saka. So sell Bukayo, win the league.
Okay. So that's it, guys. It's thank you for tuning into the Premier League Reactions TV. Ronnie. Subscribe, share, and like, and make sure that you view our content so that it can be suggested to the other followers who haven't followed us yet. So thank you.